Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. That should be good. I don't know when Lux is gonna start me. I started on mine. So we'll see when Lux starts me on. Oh, already was. Wait a minute. I already did. Yeah, here we go. Duh, it's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. There's no Jimmy today. So everyone get excited. And we're here to talk to MAGA. And I specifically have MAGA stuff to talk about. Yeah, Lux, I'm ready to. I'm ready to be on screen. Whenever you want to put me on screen. Hey there, you. Hey there. How are you doing? I'm live on the line. Jimmy Snow in the line. It's just me, Jovan. We're waiting for Lux. Lux will be here. Don't worry. And then you get both of them, me and Lux. I think it's using the bathroom right now. So as soon as it's done using the bathroom, it'll be me and Lux. And we're talking to MAGA today. So MAGA, let's talk. I have been brushing up on the Iran failure. Not that I can say the fucking name of the country. So I want to talk to MAGA about a couple of things. I want to talk to MAGA about Trump's Iran failure. I want to talk to MAGA about the assault on trans lives. I want to talk to MAGA about Christian nationalism. The audio is having a weird echo. Echo. Oh, I know probably why. Hold on. How's that? That should sound a lot better now. Yeah, that should be much better. So yeah, I want to talk to MAGA about a few things. Like I said, Trump's Iran failure, the assault on trans lives, Christian nationalism, and the GOP's absolutely failing record moving into the second quarter of 2026. So if you're interested in talking about any of those things, 336-543-2101. That number again, 336-543-2101. I'm going to say it in a normal talking way. I know that Jimmy doesn't like to, but I'm going to say it in a normal talking way. Elizabeth Chris, thank you for the $20 super chat. Said, because I miss Jimmy. Well, take your money back. How dare you? No, I'm just kidding. If anybody else misses Jimmy, send a super chat. If you don't miss Jimmy, send a super chat. I'm doing my hostly duties over here. Oh man, I'm doubled. Yeah, we're just waiting till we get Lux here. But hey, I want to talk about all these things. So where is MAGA at? Make sure you like the stream. If you're watching on either my stream or on the line, watch the stream. Someone said you were quiet under Biden. Not about any of these things, fucko. Stupid. Biden didn't attack Iran. I've never been quiet on the assault on trans lives, never been quiet on Christian nationalism, and I've never been quiet on the GOP's failures. So you're just dumb and you don't know me, so you have no idea what I was talking about under Biden. Stupid. Anyway, like the stream. The more likes we get, the more we'll be pushed out onto YouTube's feeds, so we can get people in here to call and have a conversation. I'm still getting over being sick, so you know, it's been a whole lot of fun times over here being sick. So hopefully not a lot of no whataboutisms. Can we get hashtag what about Biden in the chat? Because it's my favorite thing to when they do that. When I'm like, hey, this is why Trump is bad. They're like, yeah, but what about Biden? He did that. I'm like, yes, Biden's also bad. I'm like, thank you for admitting Trump is bad. Lux.
Hello, it's me. I'm here.
Let's put Lux on the screen. Ew.
Howdy. I know that all the labels are wrong. I'm working on it. Okay.
I was gonna say.
I'm trying my best.
I didn't know that I became Jimmy Snow today.
I keep telling people we're gonna squeeze him out. We're just gradually pushing him out of his own.
And you know the worst part? He probably would thank us.
That's probably true.
He'd probably be like, thanks. I didn't want to do this anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
guys, we're here. I'm glad I see some what about Biden's in the chat. Thank you, chat. Hashtag what about Biden. Anytime somebody tries to pivot away from acknowledging Trump's errors, they go, well, what about Biden? I don't care. Biden's not president. If Biden was president and started a war with Iran, I would also be pissed. Just like I was pissed when Biden allowed a war on Palestine, a genocide to happen on Palestine, and I talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all aren't ready for that conversation.
True. Did you have anything in particular you want to put as a subject? Yeah, I know you said you wanted to talk about Iran today. Should I put that on the title line down here?
I mean, I liked that. I like where it said we should. I mean, I think that's fine. Debating MAGA and Trump voters. I think that's fine.
All right. Cool.
I have a full list on my screen. So if anybody wants to talk, I have the full list there.
We've got lots of topics ready to go.
Yeah, I've got Trump's Iran failure. I'm telling MAGA, I want to talk to them. I want to talk about Trump's Iran failure, the assault on trans lives, Christian nationalism, and the GOP's failing record.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about those few things. We could talk about the shitty Olympic study that didn't actually conclude anything, and then said, well, we're going to ban them anyway. We can talk about all the new bills that are popping up that aren't proving anything. We can talk about the 1,600 people, the civilians. The 1,600 civilians the United States and Israel have already killed in Iran.
Yeah. I love how people are like, well, technically what Trump is doing could be considered a form of justified executive action. And because there's like if actions are necessary for the defense. And it's like, but how are we trying to justify blowing up civilian architecture? How is that necessary
it can't
to our
even be
defense?
justified as defense. There have been literally every report going back to June. And I, like I said, I've been researching this week because I was like, I feel like I need to have all of my ducks in a row on the Iran thing. Every report since June, both from the International Atomic Energy Agency, the United States' own threat assessments, the Arms Control Association, everybody said Iran was not anywhere near posing a threat to us on nuclear weapons. Everybody said the same thing. This was in June of 2025. So somehow, between June of 2025 and March of 2026, which is all of 9 months, Iran went from posing zero threat, and I mean zero when I say this, to now they're like 2 weeks away from launching a nuke at us.
Mm-hmm.
Not true. One of the things to note and it's a talking point that I really like about this. There are other countries that we're enemies with that have nukes. You know this, right, Lux?
I've heard that before.
Like North Korea has nukes.
Yeah, for example.
We don't attack North Korea. Do you know why?
Because they would nuke the shit out of us.
Because they have weapons of mass destruction. We don't attack countries that have weapons of mass destruction because that would start a bigger war.
Yeah. We can only do this to countries that don't have as much power as we do. Like, that's like the simple facts of the matter. Like, if they had nuclear weapons, they would be, in some people's view, completely justified in retaliating against our actions that we've been taking. And yet they are not nuking us, right?
Correct. Every report says that, or what Iran did is they got to 60% of enrichment, which was basically like a call your bluff on Trump. They didn't push to 60% until after Trump pulled out of the Iranian nuclear deal. They said, well, look, we're going to get up to 60% just to show you that we can, and then we're not going to go any further. Not Kamani, is that how you pronounce his name? Whatever his name was, the head of the Ayatollah, literally the guy that Trump just usurped and put his own son in, has literally said multiple times he's against nuclear warfare because it's not haram, which is, I believe that if you want. Like, that's just in reports the U.S. has put out, right? The U.S. has put out these reports that says, hey, this guy doesn't actually want to stockpile nukes. That's not his goal. So there's no reason, or let me rephrase, the threat doesn't exist. And if you want even further proof, Netanyahu, since 1995, has said that Iran is 6 weeks away from nuclear weapons. He kind of keeps using the same time frame. And this isn't a joke. We literally have, he said, because he says it on national TV. You can literally go back through the years, and he says on national TV, 2023, he said Iran is 6 weeks away. 2020, he said Iran is 6 weeks away. 2005, Iran is 6 weeks away. 1995, Iran is 6 weeks away. So Iran has been 6 weeks away from nuclear weapons for 20 years. They're almost 30 years. Almost 30 years. Iran has been, exactly 30 years. 1995. Yeah, so
this is like what Elon does. Elon's like, oh, we're only 2 weeks away. Oh, we're only 2 weeks away. And he just keeps saying it. So like 2 weeks is the next meme that we're doing now because Elon keeps saying, oh, we're 2 weeks away from full rollout of our whatever. He just, every different thing he uses it for. So
there are no credible evidence. There is no credible evidence that Iran posed any sort of threat. Like I said, the U.S., I've moved my camera a little bit. All of the U.S.'s intelligence said they were not a threat. Every major body, internationally, that checks up on these things, not a threat. We bombed their nuclear enrichment site last year. So I don't know how they all of a sudden built this it's still sitting there. All of their enriched uranium, which again was enriched up to 60%, is still sitting where it was left. And Marco Rubio, along with even some Democrats, had floated the idea about just going and getting it. Like, well, why don't we just go get the stuff? Because then if it is over 60%, we know, but also now they don't have it, right? It takes a lot to enrich uranium. You don't just have, in a country like Iran, you don't just have multiple enrichment sites. It's just like a functional impossibility. So we bombed their enrichment site. The stuff is still sitting there, but unfortunately, it would just be it's too dangerous to go and get it in the middle of armed conflict, and it's just like logistically would be a nightmare. So, no credible evidence. The only people that were telling Trump that they were like ready to strike was Israel, Hegseth, and Jared Kushner. So Trump didn't listen to any national bodies. He didn't listen to his own intelligence people. He listened to his son-in-law. His son-in-law said, hey, Pops, let's attack Iran. And he listened to Netanyahu, who has been trying to convince every U.S. president since 1995 to bomb Iran. Every president has said no. Even Trump, in his first term, said no. And then he got dementia. Now, here we are. And so the biggest reason for the attack is Israel. It's just, there isn't really any way to sugarcoat it. It's not because of a threat. It's not to protect, what Trump says, he's doing this, altruistically, oh, we need to liberate Iran, because he doesn't care about that. He said on national TV that he doesn't care if Iran becomes a democracy, and that instead what he wants to do is he wants to pick who leads the country. That's not liberation. That is quite literally just, I'm going to instill, and we saw it. He got out, I think it's Kamani. I think that's what his name is. Hold on, let me see the name.
I just want to say, while you're looking that up, we are taking calls, by the way. So if you disagree with us about any of these things, I see we've got our resident troll who cannot stop thinking about the fuck button in my asshole, apparently. He just keeps talking about my prostate in the chat. Why do you keep doing this and not calling in? You're such a weird guy. I don't know why your pee-pee is so dry. You got to think about me that way, but whatever, dude. But if
seems like a beta.
Seems like a beta. You're sitting in the cuck chair. If you have issues with us, whether it has to do with Iran, whether it has to do with our anti-Trump position, whether it has to do with trans rights, any of those issues, we are here to take your call. 336-543-2101. And we're taking calls for, at least a couple hours here. So get in here. If you've got something to say, we're here to work. We'll even hear you out. I don't know about you, Jovan. I try not to mute too much unless somebody is really I'll like yell at somebody for interrupting me a couple times before I'll start muting them. So as long as you're respectful, we'll be respectful.
I match energy. So as long as like whatever you come in with is what you get, unless it like the bit, unless there's a bit. Like I will mute for the bit if it seems funny.
Yeah, true. Yeah, fair enough.
So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So Trump's claim that, you know, we're going in to liberate the Iranian people is absolute bullshit. It was Khamenei. I don't know if I'm saying it right or wrong, but it was Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, or Khamenei, however you pronounce it. And so, you know, it's like, well, we got to get Khamenei out. We got to get Khamenei out. That's good for the Iranian people. And then you know who they installed in after they got him out, right, Lux?
No, I don't pay attention to these things.
Khamenei Jr. They put in his son, who is way more radical than he is. Like, more radical and more violent. So so this idea, it's pretty much exactly like Venezuela. Trump claims we're going to oust this regime. They got rid of God, I don't remember the Venezuela Maduro. They get rid of Maduro, and they just put his VP in charge. So it has nothing to do with getting rid of the current regime, right? It has nothing to do with this. Also, if it was about this, they wouldn't have already killed 1,600 civilians. They wouldn't be bombing oil sites and throwing dangerous chemicals into the air. Like, there's been acid rain falling in Iran. There's been massive water pollution. They wouldn't be threatening bridges. They wouldn't be threatening energy infrastructure and bombing energy infrastructure. They wouldn't have killed school children. All of these don't happen when you are focused on liberating a people. So anybody that says this is about the people of Iran, incorrect. If it was about the people, Trump would have said, hey, I got rid of this guy. Now you guys have our full backing from the U.S. military, so you, the Iranian people, can hold a fair and free election. And you can put someone in charge that you want to lead your country. He didn't do that. Instead, he's like, well, I should get to pick who runs Iran. Stupid reason. So again, just so we're keeping score at home, chat. And guys, the number 336-543-2101. If you think I'm lying about any of this, come up here. I have the fucking receipts. Come join. If you think I'm lying about any of this, come up here and defend Trump, but you can't. So if they're saying it's about the nuclear weapons, you now have the information to say, no, it's not. If they say it's about civilian protection, you now have the information to say, no, it's not. The next one could be an actual reason, and it would be to fuck with China. So Venezuela and Iran, their largest purchaser of oil is China. China gets 17% of its oil from Venezuela and 17% from Iran. Largest supplier of oil to China. It does hurt China a little when that is disrupted, which it has been. Now, on the flip, China has severely invested in wind, solar, and other like reusable forms. Yeah. So they're actually not hurting as much as like you would think, but they are still hurting. So there's the disruption on that. The United States has spent in the last, like, I think it's, let me pull up the source of this, in the last 20 years, okay? So from 2012 to now, they've spent $3.4 trillion on a militarized rivalry with China. Okay, so that's through Air Force and Space Force costs, defense agencies, the Army, Navy, Marines, and then key programs. They spent $3.4 trillion on a militarized rivalry with China. Okay, Lux, how many times do you think China has attacked the U.S. either physically, economically, cyber, or otherwise in that same time period?
I mean, there have been cyber attacks on our utilities in the past couple of years, and there was that one balloon, but like, I don't know that anything has been confirmed to be routed back to China.
Yeah, the answer is zero.
Yeah,
China has
zero.
China has never attacked us. There have been times where people, like, you're going to get the crazies that say, well, COVID was China attacking us, even though like more people in China died than died here.
If you believe that, why are you not wearing a mask still? If you believe that COVID was like a mass-produced thing from China that they sent to like eliminate our economy or whatever, like why would you not be taking every precaution against it? It's either a weaponized thing from China that we need to protect ourselves from, or it's not a big deal and it's okay if you catch it 3 times a year, and you cannot have it both ways.
Yeah. So China's not hit us. They've retaliated in like trade wars with us because we strike first, specifically with Donald Trump. So as we know, in his first term, Donald Trump struck a major blow to China by tariffing Chinese imports. China then hit back with tariffing soy production. We now are not the number 1 producer of soy in the world. That was really big to our agricultural needs. That's why we're up to 55% bankruptcies in agriculture. So possibly this could hurt China. It hasn't really so far. It has hurt us. At its peak, oil, now it has dropped because he put that ceasefire in. Don't know how long that will stick. But peak during this time, oil's hit 122 a barrel. Okay. Right now, it costs $2 to $3 billion per day for this war with Iran. That's the estimates coming out of the Pentagon. $2 to $3 billion per day. You know where that money comes from? Your pocket, my pocket. All these people who were like upset about taxes. Why aren't you upset that we're now paying $2 to $3 billion a day for a war?
What do you think happened to all the money that's not going toward your healthcare subsidies anymore? That's what we're using it for.
U.S. oil companies, so we're talking about just the oil companies in the United States, have in this past month, since the war started to now, it is estimated they've increased their extra profits by $63 billion. Now, Lux, is the U.S. energy sufficient? Are we energy independent?
Definitely not. That's the whole point of the forever wars. We're taking people's oil.
But Lux, that's the thing. We are. We produce more oil. No, we currently are.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We produce in the US more oil than we use. Okay?
That's crazy.
We export let me pull up the actual numbers.
Wait,
but
why did fucking Kamala say that she wanted to expand domestic oil then?
Because she was trying to get the center vote. Like she wanted to get the center vote. We've been energy independent since 2023 is when I think we officially ticked over.
Okay, so it's fairly recent. Cool.
Yeah, it is recent. Yes. You can pull this up. This is information that comes directly from the U.S. Energy Information Administration. So you can go to EIA.gov, and they literally have the chart. I'm pulling the chart right up right now. Just so I can give like accurate numbers, because I oftentimes don't. I oftentimes forget. But let me pull the accurate numbers. Here it is. So yes, we consume less than we produce, and we import less than we export, and have since 2020. Or I'm sorry, we have since 2020, around 2023. Yeah. So consume less than we produce, and import less than we export. So why the fuck did our oil prices go up?
That is a great question. Why am I paying almost $5 a gallon for gas right now? Because they can charge that.
It's because they can charge you more, and they've now amassed to the tune of $63 billion in a month. They've amassed by artificially inflating the cost of domestic oil.
Damn. Right?
Because we don't get a large portion of our oil from Iran. It's just not the case. I can pull up the exact number of what percentage it was. But again, we produce. Now, a thing to note, a lot of that production does go out. In a lot of cases, it is cheaper for us to buy oil and ship it in than we make more money. You know what I mean? We make more by bringing oil in and then shipping out oil we produce. Just the way like the deals and stuff have made. But just so you know, 0% of U.S. oil came from Iran. 0%. We get 60% of our oil from Canada.
Interesting.
Like of our imports. 60% of our imports are from Canada. So it's so that reason has a bit more sticking power. Also, remember, Trump just got a bunch of oil from Venezuela that was essentially too expensive to you know, do the process of getting it ready, right? It would have been cost way more than he would have gotten for it. Well, now the price of those barrels went up. And then, so that's two reasons it could be that we started the war. And then there's the main reason, like I said, Netanyahu since 1995 has been trying to get the United States to attack Iran since 1995. And he finally found a president gullible enough to do it. So if you want to talk about any of this, I have the receipts. We can talk about any of these topics: Trump's Iran failure, the assault on trans lives, Christian nationalism, and GOP's failing record. Call me and Lux right now, 336-543-2101. Lux, we have a call. You want to introduce this so I can hack my lung out real quick?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so we are going to bring in, let me make sure I've got this right, Kevin, he, him pronouns, from Massachusetts, who says he's never voted in lieu of giving us a political affiliation. But hey, Kevin, you are live on Jimmy Snow and the Line with Jovan and Luxander. How you doing?
Really awesome. How are you?
Living the dream.
That's awesome. And no, I have never voted. And at this point, I don't think I ever would. I have a theory that they seesaw us. It's like, these ones are bad, and then we vote for the other ones, and they suck too. And they're like, oh, it's just because these ones need to be back in. I think it's all just a movie. But my reason for calling is because, yes, we lost the Iran war pretty resoundingly, and the Iran war was never even voted on by Congress. Another reason why I'll never vote. So that was never even authorized by Congress. Seems weird
because, like, just real quick, it seems weird that you wouldn't vote. And listen, I'm not a Democrat, but it just feels weird if, like, because, like, every Democratic president refused to cede to Netanyahu and attack Iran. Obama even created a deal with Iran.
Do you vote to fund your local library? Because there's other stuff going on.
I do not. I don't vote locally either. I don't believe that national elections are even real. I don't think that the people who hate us and want us dead are actually going to count our votes.
They definitely count
locally,
the votes.
I also
we have video of them doing it.
I just don't. I have a hard time believing that. I think, and even if they did, I hope you would agree that each side just installs who they want. I think that in 2016, Bernie Sanders clearly won the primary and was cheated out of it by the DNC, which Bernie Sanders,
that's not the same as the votes, because the DNC is a private organization that can choose whoever it wants to. But it's, I don't know how old are you, Kevin?
36.
Okay, so it's maybe a little bit before our time because I'm 32, but there was like a whole Supreme Court situation around the votes being counted in Florida when Al Gore was running for president versus George Bush. So
yeah, it's not that.
I'm not saying there's not fuckery. I'm not saying there's not fuckery, but I would hope that at least locally.
Gore election, not that I'm some Al Gore fan, but my earliest recollection of politics, actually, I was probably 12 years old. Al Gore won the election, and the Bush family state stole the election from him. That's my earliest recollection of politics. Not that I'm an Al Gore guy, but I mean, give me a break. He won that election. But there's always, I just really don't believe they're real. That's my belief, and even if they were real, we're always getting screwed no matter what.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be trying to screw your vote over if it wasn't for the fact that you could impact things by voting, right? Like there wouldn't be voter disenfranchisement if voting did not do anything.
Why don't you vote? Why don't you like what Lux said earlier? Why don't you vote locally then? Locally, they can't screw you like that.
Literally fund the local library.
That's a reasonable point. But no, I've never done that. I just don't want to register to vote. And I mean, call it paranoia if you want. But so say I register as a Democrat.
Wait, real quick. How old are you? Kevin?
36 is what he said.
36.
Okay, so you just missed. So by not voting, you just missed having to register to draft because they're starting that in. I think they said
I read that this morning. I think it's only people. I think it's only people between 18 and 25 who are automatically registered. But
they don't want 30-year-olds enlisting.
Yeah. Another thing about the draft: do you really think in a country of 400 million guns? And in the age of information where everybody knows everything is a lie, do you think they can really implement the draft and send us to war 5,000 miles away?
Yes.
I don't think that has any chance of success. We are not our grandfathers who laid down and allowed them to put handcuffs on them when they wouldn't go to Vietnam. We're not our grandfathers.
I'm going to tell you something. I've been entrenched in these streets. Every person that believes they're going to 2A their way out of the draft, they're not. They're chicken shit.
You're bringing a gun to a drone fight in that situation.
They're not. You're going to be in prison. The cops have more force than you do. You'll end up in a jail cell, and then you'll probably end up on the front lines anyway.
Yeah, a lot of people say that, and it's hard to rebut that. Maybe it's like
if it was the case, right? If it was the case, that like having a bunch of guns were going to protect you, then like Waco, right? Look how many guns they had at Waco.
That's a reasonable point. They burned people alive.
They did not come at it out alive.
Yeah, they burned people alive.
The government will blow your house
television.
up from a bunker. They don't care.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, there's a lot I could say about the stuff. No one, I will never be convinced to vote federally, although you do make a really valid point about not Joe Biden,
for congressional candidates. Senate?
No, absolutely not.
Mayor?
Who's your congressman right now?
I really do. I don't know. I know Elizabeth Warren is a senator. The stuff is.
Okay, but this is part of the problem. Okay. So they say good things, right? So they say things like, let's say Donald Trump said, "Hey, vote for me because we're not going to go to war if you vote for me." And then people voted for him to not go to war. And then it took less than a year for this guy to backstab everybody.
You know what you could do is you could vote for candidates and lobby them to make it actually like illegal for politicians to lie, or like at least institute some kind of punishment or impeachment process, or like an emergency. What do they call emergency elections?
Or vote for people that aren't in the backs of large PACs. Vote for people that are actually boots on the ground. Vote for people that'll actually show up and talk to you. Matt Gaetz wasn't taking PAC money, and they ran him out of D.C. AOC, as far as I was learning about. They ran Matt Gaetz out of D.C. because he raped a 17-year-old. So,
to be clear.
I think the Merrick Garland DOJ would have put this guy on the grill and cooked him if if those allegations were true. Merrick Garland was a fucking let me not be misogynist. Merrick Garland was a fucking coward. He did not want to start any beef. That's why he didn't bring forth the charges on Trump for the election tampering. Merrick Garland did not. He didn't want to start any beef. Oh, man. He was pretty much on record going, "I don't want to cause a rift between Democrats and Republicans." All right, let's talk about it then. Colin Powell died a free man. John Bolton is currently a free man. These are the architects of the Iraq War. And neither of these guys got charged for the things that they did to get us into the Iraq War. But because I am not for charging Trump until we roll back the clock and start charging everybody who needs to be charged. You can't just charge out of 45 presidents. Wait.
Wait. Let's say I have 3 guys and they each murder somebody, but the first 2 guys get off on that murder. You're saying the third guy should also get off?
I think it makes it a little bit obvious that Trump was targeted in a different way than all the other politicians if he's the only one who goes down for crimes.
Well, no. Trump did.
To me, that's my opinion.
Sure, but like, can you show me another politician who genuinely committed election fraud in the way Trump tried to do?
Oh, no. Totally different crimes than the other guys, and totally different. Trump's crimes are absolutely different than the guys I'm referencing. I want the Iraq war cabal arrested, and I think those crimes are the most important crimes of my lifetime.
But wait, sure, but we're just doing Iraq War number 2. It's happening again, correct. And you're saying, but now you're saying, well, we should just let that guy go because we didn't get the guys before.
No, I think we can walk and chew gum at the same time. If you want to grill Trump, fine, but at least make it look like you're not unfairly targeting him, and get the other guys from 20 years ago who are responsible for 1 million dead Iraqis when there was no weapons of mass destruction.
Well, we can't get Colin Powell. He's been dead since 2021.
No, because he died a free man. He died a very free man.
Sure, he's still dead, so we can't do anything there.
Mm-hmm.
Bush is on his fucking way out. Like, yeah, I mean, if you want to punish,
I don't even know.
If you want to punish them, great. If you want to punish them, great. But Trump is actively doing it now.
All right, so now because we hate Trump so much, we're gonna change the rules, and now politicians can get now.
Well,
no,
we're not gonna. Wait. Hold on, that's not changing the rules. That's enforcing them. I was a fucking teenager during the Iraq War, right? Like I can't help that. Like I'm an adult now, right? Like there's nothing I can do about that, right? If you want to get the old guys, get the old guys. I don't care. Throw them all in jail for all I give a shit. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying now, the distressing thing is Donald Trump currently using his seat of power to indiscriminately target civilians, threaten genocide.
Well, not exactly. It's not like what Israel did in Palestine, but it is still atrocious.
No, it's getting there. I mean, 1,600 civilians are already dead.
Yeah, I didn't know that. The Palestinian numbers, by the way, are way off. If they're saying 70, if they're telling you 70,000 civilians died in Palestine, you need to times that, multiply that number by 10, because it is way higher. I don't disagree.
Yeah,
I don't disagree
with
the number.
That's not what we're talking about. I agree, but
what I'm saying is we currently are in a situation where Trump is using the office of the presidency to increase the pockets of these oil barons by starting a war off of threats that don't exist. He should probably be gone.
True, and also red pilling everybody to the fact that democracy is not real, because
that worked on you, right?
Of America. What?
That kind of worked on you. You don't believe that the federal election, that democracy exists.
Actually, you don't believe in democracy at any level, and you're not willing to put it to the test to even see if voting locally affects what happens in your direct community and your neighborhood.
Well, he kind of proved my point with the federal elections, though, and democracy not being real, because 80% of Americans didn't want us to go to war in Iran. He was specifically democratically elected, so we didn't go to war. And I just want to be clear.
I just want to clarify. We live in a constitutional republic. So we live in a democratic republic. And so we vote for people who are supposed to represent us. And yes, there are a lot of ways in which there is voter disenfranchisement, but we can change that by directly impacting the situation. Like, did you know, I think it's Michigan, correct me if I'm wrong, Jovan, if you know the answer, but there is at least one state that has changed to a popular vote system so that it's like,
I think that's Alaska.
We even have we have places that have gone to ranked choice voting.
Ranked choice is what I was thinking
voting
of.
Is allowed.
So we have ranked choice.
New York City moved to ranked choice, which is
so states can change their voting policies, and we can vote on those things locally in a way that does eventually impact federal elections. There's no way for us to abolish the electoral college if we don't participate in some way. I'm wondering, Kevin, do you participate in some other way? Like, is there something else that you do besides voting, or have you just completely rolled over and shown your belly that nothing you can do will ever change anything, even in your local community?
One thing I did, as like, I'm assuming Democrats or leftists or whatever it is. One thing that you guys specifically will not like it. During COVID, I definitely didn't follow rules, and I definitely did not allow them to shut down the park in my town. And when they were trying to come and regulate kids playing, in fact, Lori Lightfoot arrested young black kids for playing basketball in Chicago. Well, meanwhile, you know what used to go on in Chicago. It's dropped a lot since then. But she's arresting kids for playing basketball.
To be clear, COVID is now, and it is permanently disabling people, and it is harming our economy by disabling people and killing people, and increasing all-cause mortality.
There is no world in which they get to tell us that we can't go to the park that we pay for. So,
yes, there is.
So how I participated?
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
What do you mean? There is, because they enforce it with guns and handcuffs.
Well, there is, because the parks have rules, right? A lot of those parks are like, you can't come here after dusk.
Yeah, the ones we pay for, yeah.
Yeah, and you don't get all up in arms like, oh, they can't keep us out after dusk. I'm sure you follow those rules.
Do you understand the concept of public health? Like, public spaces, public health, like, we have to kind of have some amount of consensus when it comes to public safety. So, like, you're not allowed to, like, brandish
stuff. So you guys really won't concede anything. COVID was just what they told us, and then that's why on November 4th,
it's been 6 years. I actually talk about this issue a lot, Jovan. I don't know how much you talk about it, but it is one of my key issues. So I have done reading for the last 6. We are now currently in the 7th year of an ongoing, like, mass disabling event through COVID.
I'm sure I've had
everything we've seen about it. Yeah. Okay. So Kevin, can you give me a second here? Everything that I have ever read about COVID indicates that it is bad and permanently harms people, including children. It is shortening all of our lifespans. So, like, in the beginning, we thought, whatever, it's like initially we were like, okay, this is killing people in the acute phase. But once it stopped killing as many people in the acute phase, we were like, well, whatever, this isn't a big deal. But now we're finding out it's causing cancer, and it's causing people in our age demographic to have sudden heart attacks, even though we have no family history of it. And it is causing immune deficiency that is going to cause people to develop an AIDS-like illness where they're going to die of something else that their immune system would have been able to fight off. So, like, everything, like, the only problem I have with our public health approach to COVID is that we should not have stopped at any point doing the precautions.
That is so out of bounds for me. But yes,
have you read about
I
it
do
at
know
all?
a lot about what you said. Absolutely. In fact,
have you stayed up to date on the current research and, like, all of the numerous different ways in which it impacts the body, and which, like, children can no longer go to school because they have a long-term / permanent disability? We don't even know. Hold on, Kevin. We don't even know the 10-year survivability of this virus. Because did you know that when you catch HIV, you don't develop AIDS until it's been untreated for like 10 to 12 years?
Yes.
We don't even know the public health ramifications fully of COVID yet. So, like, I don't know what your point is, that, like, oh, the government overreached by trying to save people's lives. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't sound like a very informed.
So the people who hate us, the people who hate us and want us dead and created the virus, unless you think it came from a pangolin, but I know you don't.
So here's my question. Here's my question, Kevin. I have a question, Kevin. If you believe that COVID was created in a lab to kill Americans, why are you not supporting precautions to prevent people from catching it?
And it wasn't created in a Chinese lab, by the way. It was created in North Carolina.
That's not the question. Can you answer the question, please?
Because what can we possibly do? You want to wear a mask every day? That's
that is what I
choice.
do.
I'm not mad at that.
It's not hard.
Of course, and I'm not
hard.
mad at that.
And here's the thing, too, Kevin. I don't have to ever consider that someone else's death was caused by my inaction, because I'm not spreading it to grandparents and people who are immune compromised and people who have cancer. Like.
Who is the gentleman? The gentleman we're in here with.
If you think that someone manufactured COVID to harm Americans, then I don't know why you would not be taking precautions and treating it like it's not a big deal.
It wasn't just to hurt Americans. It was to. It was. I don't know what the big idea was.
But what you're saying. Okay,
here's real quick, Lux. I just a question for you, real quick, Lux.
Yeah.
Do billionaires get richer when there's more people to profit off of?
Yeah, generally, right?
Yeah. So you think that the people who run everything, which are the billionaires, wanted to mass kill a bunch of people and then lose profits?
You're saying billionaires. We're being a little gracious.
Careful.
We're being a little bit gracious to like I guess if you want to say Zionist, if you want to say Israel.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
there it is. I knew it. I could feel it coming.
You're being a little bit gracious.
Oh,
you're being a little bit gracious.
Oh boy, I knew that was coming.
Is there a J word that we need to use instead?
To talk about it. What?
Is there a J word that you're aiming toward us using instead of billionaire?
No, because I know plenty of them, and they have absolutely no power.
Then what are you driving toward?
Well, what I'm driving toward is Zionists and people with dual citizenship with Israel who are Zionists. I mean,
you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy is that we are not having a coherent conversation because you just keep jumping from one topic to the next. You originally called in to talk about trans issues, which is the reason we took your call. But the thing is that we can't make progress on anything because as soon as we pin you on something, you pivot to something else. You're dodging, you're pivoting, you're ducking and weaving, and like it's like, are we trying to have a coherent conversation, or do you just excuse me? Are we having a coherent conversation, or do you just want to have a stream of consciousness, like blurting out every thought that you have instead of actually addressing the meat of any of the arguments that you're making?
Well, you guys started it by like not chastising me, but pushing back on me about not voting, and then it just like evolved into this. We don't have to talk about the not voting anymore.
Worldview?
Yeah, damn.
That's crazy.
On a political call-in show? Crazy.
Sorry, I'll make sure I never ask you questions about your worldview again.
Well, you didn't ask me much. All you do is keep saying, here we go, every time I say something true. For instance, when I said COVID was made in a lab, you said, here we go, here we go.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't say it wasn't because you know it was.
And then I directly
you're
tried
totally
to ask
cool,
you a question about it. And then I directly, listen.
You don't even listen to know what the responses
I directly addressed your claim, and I asked you a question, and you have refused to answer it.
Said, here we go, as if he made a point.
But he didn't make a point. He let me make a point.
No, he didn't.
Let me make a point.
There is no point.
He just made a
It's
comment.
not a debate.
He just made a but that's my question. If you think it was made in a lab, why wouldn't you want to take every precaution to avoid catching it?
Because when you cede power to people in power, they never give it back.
So you want them to just kill you? You want them to just kill people by refusing to take precautions against whoever it is that created the virus in the first place? Like
No, but
you're ceding power by letting them kill you too, dumbass. Like,
did you call me a name?
Yeah, I did, because you are being ridiculous, and I need you to fuck this up.
Because I'm being nice to you. I'm not calling you mentally ill. I'm not calling you a freak. Speak to me like I'm a human, okay? Please.
Is that what you believe, though? Because you just implied that that's what you believe and that's what you would like to be saying to me. So why don't we circle back around to your original topic, which was trans issues? Do you have something you need to say to me?
I would rather not insult you. I would rather talk to you like you're a human.
But you just did by implication. You just said you think I'm mentally ill, and you're just being polite by not saying it.
I did.
Which means I'm in the middle of fucking talking, which means the reason why you don't respect me in any of the other things, any of the other questions I've asked you, is because you fundamentally think that I'm mentally ill. Excuse me, I'm in the middle of fucking talking, Kevin. Holy shit.
You're unhinged.
Yeah, I mean, we fully have the ability to just hang up on you if we don't want to have a productive conversation.
You people have committed the last 7 school shootings.
Yeah, compared to how many of your people, how many white men, how many white cis straight men. Yeah.
I did a mute.
You're not capable of having a reasonable conversation because we're trying to have a conversation, and you will not respond to questions. You keep dodging, you keep changing the subject, you keep fucking interrupting me. And yes, It is disrespectful to even obliquely imply that you think that I'm mentally ill. He hung up. Congratulations, the trash took itself out today. Jesus.
I knew exactly where he was going after I mentioned that billionaire thing. I was like, yep.
Yep,
I know exactly where this motherfucker going. Oh, I saw it coming a million miles away. I said, oh no. No, yeah. No, here it comes. It shouldn't be this easy to predict when somebody is going to get a little anti-Semitic.
Truly, yeah.
I think my bigger issue is the people that still believe the COVID-19 hoaxes and shit. Even though there's not hardly any evidence that really supports the lab leak, the biggest amount of evidence in the scientific community right now supports the zoonotic. I think it's what it's called.
Zoonotic.
Or zoonotic. Is that how you pronounce it? That doesn't make sense. It's zoo.
It's like
animals.
But zoology is pronounced that way.
Zoology?
It's zoology.
No, it's not. Do you, Lux, when you want to have a fun day seeing animals, do you go to the zoo?
Yeah, I do. Personally.
Get the fuck out of here.
I think it depends. I think it depends on it's like often or often, I think it depends.
It's often. There's no often.
Do you
Who
soften?
says often?
Do you soften?
Often. It's often.
But do you soften? If you're I'm putting like I want to make my clothes softer.
That's a different word.
Same format.
No, different word. Zoo is the root word of zoology.
I know it.
I'm gonna lose my mind. Anyway, I like
says
to
I'm
combat.
Right, so
chat is wrong, and they should feel bad. I like to always make sure that we're combating misinformation. So the most likely, when we look at the actual scientific research on it, the most likely zoonotic, whatever, is the most likely likely origin of COVID-19. We saw the same thing with the SARS outbreak in 2003. That came from zoonotic transmission. So that is the most likely place. There's not a lot of evidence that supports the lab leak theory. There's not a lot of evidence that supports it was a mass plot hatched by all these governments. Because it doesn't make sense. If governments are hatching this mass plot to kill a bunch of people, why are they telling people to stay home so they don't die? There is no evidence that the vaccine hurt a bunch of people. There's quite literally none. There's no research on it that's been done that's been conclusive in any way, shape, or form. It's just embarrassing that we still have COVID deniers in the year of our Lord 2026.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But let's see. God, I don't care about either of you pick.
We've got a couple in the screening if you want to wait a minute.
No, well, we can get through one of these quickly, probably. Let's bring up Ray from Texas. Ray, you're on with Jovan and Lux. What did we get wrong about the draft, Ray?
I think the violence wouldn't just like during the Vietnam War when they were protesting and when the National Guard shot the students. That was the immediate decline in and the country was breaking up. Country was breaking up at the seams.
Hey, I have a question.
And I think this is.
I don't know I don't know what your thesis is here, but
it's fine. You don't need to worry about it. I have a question, Ricky.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you lying again?
Yikes.
What do you want to talk about, though? That's what I'm trying to say.
I want to talk about why you're lying.
Damn.
I was here last week with Jimmy, and you call in and you lie about who you are. You lie about your name. You use a different name, and you act like you don't know that we can see the information from the last time you called. Why would I treat anything you say with any level of seriousness? Why would I bother to have a conversation assuming good faith if I know that you are starting the conversation in bad faith because you are lying?
Do you care about the truth? Do you care
Obviously,
about the
truth? That's why I'm pinning you on this.
I don't care about the truth. I don't care about the truth.
No, you
are a liar.
Why would
this is the second time in a row? This is the second time in a row that you've called in and lied.
That's crazy.
Because you're worried about small little things. You're worried about
That's
small little things.
crazy.
I'm not going to take anything you say seriously, and I'm literally not going to allow the conversation to go any further if you don't explain to me why you start the conversation with a lie. You have an explanation for yourself?
But does it matter, though? That's all I'm saying.
Does it matter if my interlocutor is lying? Yes, of course it matters. Why would I treat you with any level of sincerity if I think that you are being insincere?
Do you want me to give you my address? Is that what you want? Do you want to dox me? You could dox me if you want. You could post it right now for everybody.
Please stop being a victim.
What you're worried about.
Can you stop? Ray, stop being a victim. Or Ricky, Ray, stop being a victim.
Such a crybaby.
Stop being a victim.
Where do you want me to tell you where I'm from? Where do you want me to tell you where I'm from? But you're worried about.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Where am I from?
How can we have an honest conversation with somebody who lies? If you lie about little stuff at the start of the call, how do we know you're not going to lie about literally everything else?
You're misrepresenting yourself from the jump.
Well, ask me if I'm lying. Ask me if I'm lying if I say something.
Are you lying? Are you lying about your name?
Did it not happen?
Are you lying about your name?
Or not? See, the name.
Are you lying about your name? Are you lying about your pronouns?
Why do you?
Are you lying about where you're calling from?
My information. Why do you
so
want
the
me
answer
to give you
is
my information? Is that important?
just remember, Lux, that less than 10 seconds ago, he said, "Ask me if I'm lying, and I'll tell you." Yeah. And I've asked him if he's lying, and he's not told us. That's kind of crazy.
My information is not.
Bye. Don't care. Matthew from Indiana, I think is IN. Matthew from Indiana, calling in to talk about have a friendly debate on Trump. Dope, Matthew from Indiana. Just confirming.
How are you?
We're chilling. Just confirming, Matthew, you did vote for Trump in the last 3 elections?
I did, actually, yes.
Beautiful. And how do you feel about his handling of the Iran conflict?
Well, I feel like it's all panning out. The Strait of Hamas is opened. The conflict's not completely settled, but it seems like it's leaning in that direction. They didn't kill any innocent people, with the.
Okay, so just real quick, the Strait of Hormuz is closed right now. Just to start on the first thing you said. Nope, hasn't been open for.
I heard,
hasn't been open for days.
Having some cold.
Hasn't been open for days.
Well, no, they did open it back up 100%. I'm not saying they may not have closed it back.
Curious, where did you get that information from?
Fox News.
Oh well, that makes sense.
Okay. What was the other thing you said? They're not killing. What was the last thing you said? They're not killing a bunch of people.
They had on there all the people lined up around the power plants and like electric services, and they was innocent, and it was actually a war crime that they even done it, but they made it innocent civilians lying around the power plants and energy plants so that if they was bombed, then they would kill innocent civilians, which, like I said, is a war crime under the United Nations that we are supposedly a part of.
You know that the United States has killed 1,600 innocent civilians so far.
Does that include all the little girls at that school?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I agree with your numbers. Where'd you get that? Where did you get that from? Can you pull that
comes
up
directly
and show that?
from that comes directly from the Air Force briefing. It was a briefing by the Joints of Staff of the U.S. Air Force. Yeah, I'm
Can you pull that
giving
up?
you the source on it.
Yeah, I'm asking.
Yeah,
Can you pull it up?
Pull it up.
Okay.
Pull it up where? What are you talking about? There was a press briefing there's a press briefing with there's a press briefing with the Air Force General Dan Kane and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and they showed the numbers for Operation Epic Fury, and the numbers show 1,600 civilians dead.
Okay. And there may be. And you know what? I pray for every one of their families, and that's something that I wish would never happen is innocent people getting killed.
You think we're doing well in the war, though?
Well, I think we're doing the right thing, because if we don't now, if we don't, then we're going to end up with nuclear bombs on us.
You know, every single organization that tracks nuclear enrichment has said that Iran was nowhere near a threat. That's the Atomic Energy Agency, which is an international body that looks at this. The United States' own threat assessment that we did in June of last year said Iran posed quite literally zero nuclear threat to us. The Arms Coalition Association said Iran posed no threat.
But they was working on nuclear. They was absolutely 100% working on nuclear weapons. They even said that.
They didn't.
Yes, absolutely.
No,
100%.
Iran. No, there's literally no report from any agency that showed, not our own intelligence, not international intelligence, that shows that Iran was working on a nuclear weapon. They were enriching uranium, and they enriched up to 60%, which they did after Trump pulled us out of the Iranian nuclear deal. That's when they pushed to, that's when they pushed to go up to 60%, but they had no plan on going past that 60.
That's because the UN's not pulling their weight like they're supposed to.
What? The UN didn't have to do. What are you talking about? Iran was following our own assessments, per our country's own assessments on the nuclear deal. They were complying.
No. If that was the case,
we assessed
then they wouldn't
it
have
every
sent all
year.
the bombs they sent over there.
What?
If that was the case,
they
sent
the bombs because they sent the bombs because Israel wanted to attack Iran.
Oh, so just because what Israel wanted, you think Trump sent a bunch of bombs over to Iran? Come on, man.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes. Quite literally, Trump met with Netanyahu, and then like 3 months later, he bombed Iran.
We are Bibi's bitch right now.
What would he benefit?
What would Netanyahu benefit?
He campaigned on it. He campaigned on it.
Yes, Netanyahu benefits immensely from the war in Iran. Israel benefits immensely.
But that's not us.
We can look at, well, here's where we benefit. United States oil companies have expanded their profits in just this month of the war by $63 billion by the inflated cost of oil.
If we're going to be at war and
that's where we're benefiting.
All them bombs, we might as well take their oil. It's tit for tat.
Except we don't. We get 0% of our oil comes from Iran. None of our oil ever came from Iran. We get most of our oil from Canada.
Oh, I understand that, but they did get some oil from Iran. Yes, they did. They took
effectively 0% of the U.S.'s oil supply comes from Iran.
Are you basically just saying that it's okay for us to steal other people's shit and then sell it? Like, what? Like, I don't understand what you're saying. Is like, it's acceptable for us to bomb the shit out of civilian infrastructure so that we can steal oil and then sell it to someone else, even though we don't need it? Like, I'm trying to understand. I'm Luxander. Hi.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
My name's Luxander. I've been here the whole time. I just didn't have a lot to say because Jovan is more knowledgeable on this.
I haven't heard you. I haven't heard you yet. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, it's fine. Anyway, so my question to you is: are you saying that it's okay for us to steal resources from another country?
If we're at war with them, yes.
Oh, okay. A war that
so is it okay to
started?
Start a war with them to take from them?
No. And that's
that's what we did.
Started.
So you're saying it's okay for us to steal their shit after we started a war?
The war was started because they was making nuclear weapons, and
that's not them starting a war. Even if that were true, Matthew. Even if that were true, that is not them starting a war. A country possessing nuclear weapons, like North Korea, for example, that is not starting a war. That's them having their own weapons defense system.
And I just want
to repeat this, Matthew. I just need to repeat this. We did a threat assessment in 2025 and found that Iran posed no threat of nuclear attack to the United States. None. Zero.
Okay, and where that came
Zilch.
from? CNN.
Nope. That's the Office of the Director of National Intelligence of the United States, appointed by Donald Trump.
They have the Department of War that is dealing with all this stuff now. So that department wouldn't even have any intel
The Department
or
of
information
War.
on what's
The
going
Department
on.
of War gets their information on global threats from
Donald Trump.
Director of from the Director of National Intelligence. The Department of War doesn't handle intelligence.
You think it don't go through the Commander in Chief? You really think it does not go through the Commander in Chief of the United States of America?
Trump is not the source of intelligence.
Literally.
So many different ways.
That Donald Trump knows more than his own appointed Director of National Intelligence. Donald Trump knows more than them.
He knows just as much. I would say that.
So if they are telling him,
Donald Trump is pretty slick and he's on it.
So if they are telling him, hey, there is no threat, if we then have the Arms Coalition telling us, the Arms Control Association telling us, hey, Iran poses no threat. If we have the International Atomic Energy Agency going, hey, no.
A Trump appointee.
What?
Not one.
The U.S. threat assessment in 2025. The U.S. threat assessment in 2025 was done by Trump's people. Who was president in 2025?
Yeah, I know. So listen, I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna.
Are you sure?
Fucking had me fooled.
And then the head of the the Arms Control Association and the International Atomic Energy. Hold on, stop.
And the dude with caddy.
There we go.
Are you fucking
There we
serious?
go. God damn, dude. God damn, you're dumb. The Arms Control Association and the the Arms Control Association and the International Atomic Energy Agency aren't even United States groups. They're international bodies. They're neither Democrat nor Republican. You have drank the sauce so much. I know you don't, because you don't care about facts. All you care about is what Papa Trump tells you, instead of looking at the actual factual information on this.
What's going on? Hey, what happened when Sleepy Joe was in?
We didn't attack Iran. That's what happened. We didn't attack Iran. That's what happened. That's what happened. When Sleepy Joe was in office, we didn't fucking attack Iran. When Donald Trump's in office, we attack Iran.
We pulled all of our troops out of Iraq and killed about half of them doing it that way.
First of all, we pulled them out of Afghanistan. We pulled them out of Afghanistan because of a deal that Trump made with the Taliban. Because Trump, Matthew, I don't know if it's liquor. I don't know if it's fucking meth. I don't know what it is. But Trump literally negotiated. Trump. Yeah, and at least I'm fucking not stupid enough. At least I'm smart enough to know that Trump negotiated the Afghani pullout. He negotiated with the Taliban. He told the Taliban when we were doing it all. Are you dumb? All right, Matthew, I'm out. I'm out. Goodbye. If you can't have this conversation seriously because you don't know this shit, I'm just going to move on to the next person. Like, this is nonsense.
We might be able to have a serious conversation.
Matthew, my cat ears don't matter because you are ignoring literal fact. You're ignoring literal facts. Sorry, you're muted.
It's not an argument, dude.
The facts don't give a fuck. The facts don't care about your cat ear nonsense. You're muted right now because you are literally ignoring actual facts. The fact of the matter is that the Afghan pullout was negotiated by Donald Trump, not Joe Biden. Just didn't happen. The facts of the matter is no fucking actual credible organization, even our own government, headed by Donald Trump's own people, saw Iran as a threat, a nuclear threat. There's no evidence of them building nuclear warheads. You get your information all off of Fox News. I can directly source everything that I've been saying so far. You don't know what you're talking about. and it's embarrassing. If you want to keep going, Lux, you can pull him back up.
Nah, I'm okay. Oh, he hung up anyway.
Jesus Christ, dude. People are fucking dumb today. He's like, we pulled out of Iraq. What the fuck are you talking about? It was Afghanistan, stupid. Fuck, y'all. If you're liking the Jovan Lux pairing, make sure you're super chatting over on Jimmy's channel.
Yeah.
Make
and
sure
hit the
Jimmy
like
knows
button.
that. Yeah. Make sure Jimmy knows that me and Lux are more profitable than he and I are.
Yeah. Gotta show it in the hardcore numbers. Good gracious. And we've got like a good amount of calls. Yeah. We've got a good amount of calls. We've got 5 people in the queue, and our screener is leaving now. So we will get to all of you who are currently waiting. We plan to work through it in the order that we feel fit to do so. So I feel like let's just kind of, well, I don't know. I feel like the one that's been waiting the longest we could get over pretty quickly, but we've got other stuff that's more relevant to the conversation. So I want to take like 23.5. Does that sound good?
Yeah, we'll take whichever one you want.
Cool. All right, we're going to talk to Jesse, who uses he, him pronouns, calling from Massachusetts, and he's a Republican who wants to talk about Iran, Kamala, and trans rights. Jesse, you're live on the Jimmy Snow Show with Jovan and Luxander. What's up?
What's up? How's it going?
Living the dream.
Just quick question. Do you guys think that if Kamala was elected into office, that the Venezuela conflict and the Iran conflict would have been avoided?
If who?
Kamala?
Oh, who?
Kamala Harris?
Who is that? I don't know who that is. I've never heard of a Kamala Harris before.
Kamala?
Oh.
Am I mispronouncing her name?
I've never heard of a Kamala Harris either.
How do you pronounce it? You guys can educate me. Jovan, you going to
You
break
didn't
my
own a
balls
TV?
already? I just got on the line.
I mean, yeah, you didn't own a TV between 2024 and 2025? Kamala.
Well, to be fair, I've heard her name said many different ways on TV.
Her name is
she said her name?
Kamala.
What if I called you Jassie?
Kamala? That's fine.
Jassie.
Jassisi. What if I called you Jassisi? Anyway,
Yeah,
do I think Kamala would have gone and grabbed Maduro? No.
Okay.
I think if the Dems were going to get Maduro, they would have done it when Biden issued a warrant on him, and they didn't.
Okay. And Iran as well? You don't think that they would have gone to conflict with Iran?
Absolutely not. Netanyahu has literally tried to convince every president since 1995 to start an Iran conflict, and they all said no. Bush, Obama, Biden, Trump 1. It wasn't until Trump 2 that we finally said yes. Also, it was Trump that did the thing on Maduro. But yeah, I think if Dems wanted Maduro, they would have grabbed him in 2021.
Gotcha. And what about the what's the reasoning behind Trump going in there? What do you think the purpose of all this is?
Israel wanted him to, and they wanted money for oil. Oil companies wanted more money.
So Israel's got him by the balls. Do you think that has anything to do with Epstein?
No. I mean, like, as a distraction, maybe, but I don't think that. I think there's way other things that he can do to distract from Epstein. I don't really think Epstein has any play into the Iran conflict.
So Israel's got other dirt on Trump, or he feels he's indebted to them, and that's why he's doing this?
No, I think Trump is dumb and doesn't listen to what his people tell him. So when Jared Kushner and Pete Hegseth just go, oh, yeah, Iran's going to build a nuke, and Netanyahu goes, yeah, Iran's like 3 weeks away. Which, by the way, Netanyahu's been saying that they've been 6 weeks away since 1995. Literally, he's been giving that timeline since 1995. I think Trump's just dumb and listens to those people instead of like the actual intelligence, which says we're nowhere near. They are no threat, which is what all the actual intelligence tells us. Well, they were no threat. Who knows now?
I don't get it, man. I'm trying to figure out what logically is the reasoning. I just can't put a hypothesis together.
Well, that's your first issue, Jesse.
the assumption that Trump does
think
anything logically. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Did you have
All
a
right, are you guys ready to go on the deep end now?
Sure. What do you got?
Okay. So, my second topic I'd like to bring up is I'd like to redefine a few words. So, what do you?
Like
how do you guys
want to change the pronunciation of Kamala's name?
No, see, I wasn't being malicious when I was doing that. I think you guys.
I'm joking.
Think I was doing
it's fine, Jesse.
but...
I'm just giving us a little haha moment. Go ahead with your topic.
Gotcha. So homosexual and heterosexual. So currently, those are self-reporting things, correct? There's nothing has to be accomplished for you to claim you're a homosexual or heterosexual or.
Yeah, I don't need to watch someone stick
correct?
his penis in someone else's butt to know that he's gay. I'm okay with him just telling me about it and not me needing to watch it.
Hold on. Wait. Don't jump the gun.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jesse.
No, well, I think that we should, because would you guys agree that in the animal kingdom there's homosexual animals?
Wait. We should watch people have butt sex?
No. The act has to take place before.
How do we know that?
Has to take place.
How do we know that though? That the act took place?
You don't.
So wait,
you don't.
Do I have to fuck a woman in order to be straight?
Yes. Or at least the
What about wait, so then the act doesn't have to take place?
Well, you have to be actively trying to succeed.
So when I was 5 years old and I had my first crush on a girl, I wasn't gay, I wasn't straight. What was I?
You weren't part of the club yet. You were neutral.
So what was I? I was neutral.
You were just a neutral being.
A neutral. Okay. Neutral. So there's gay, straight, bisexual, pansexual, neutral. Where do we put neutral in the LGBTQIA plus lineup? Well,
because right now it's just like, if you're trans, it's self-reporting, correct? That's the only way to be trans.
Just like a litany of things, yes. Well, no.
What?
Self-reporting doesn't make you trans, no.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean.
Well, so homosexual is attracted to the same sex. Heterosexual is opposite sex. So what is a transsexual attracted to?
Well, no. Wait.
That's not what that word means.
But also, it's not just someone attracted to the opposite sex. Because when I was 5 and I was attracted to the opposite sex, you said I wasn't straight. I wasn't a heterosexual. So what was I? So what does heterosexual actually mean? What does heterosexual mean?
Well, I want to change the definitions to the act has to be acted upon before you could claim it. Like, you could have dreams, you could have wishes.
So I have a question. I have a question. Yes. So like when I was like 14 and I had sex the first time, I wasn't any sexual orientation until the moment the sexual activity happened. Like
no, when you tried.
Oh, it was the trying that made me into a sexuality?
I would say going on dates would kind of institute that, if it's...
What are incels?
If it's a sexual... What's that?
What are incel sexuality? Because they don't go on dates or bone.
They're all neutral. They can't make any claim.
That's crazy. Why do we need to change this definition?
I don't really know what it is.
It's just whatever what people say.
What's the utility of this?
I'm this, I'm that. Would you agree with this? So a straight man can be married and have kids, but be totally gay, correct?
Totally gay for the US of A.
I mean, it sounds like either that person is bisexual or they were never really straight.
Well, what if they're only, they say, this is what
this
they
is
say.
Bisexual erasure, and I will not stand for it. Some of my best friends are bisexual.
Correct, but that's because they engage in sexual activity with both men and women, correct?
Or just because they like men and women.
Do you think fantasizing about boobies is like immaterial? Do you think that like if I think about boobies a lot and I want to touch them, but I never get the opportunity to, that means that I'm not attracted to women?
Correct.
Daddy, chill.
Okay, that's weird. Because like the attraction part. Wait, one second. Jesse, hold on. I'm asking a question. I want to ask a clarifying question because I'm trying to understand what you're saying. And I didn't hear anything you said. Jovan's reacting to what you said, but I didn't hear you because I was in the middle of talking. So the thing is that attraction is being attracted to. Attraction means I think about boobies a lot. So sexual attraction or orientation means who I'm pointed toward, who I'm oriented toward. So you think that I'm not attracted to women even if I think about boobies every day of my life?
Yeah, I think that unless there's you're actively trying to act on that attraction, it's just
so
feelings.
Attraction to you, attraction does not exist. There is no such thing as sexual orientation.
I agree with you that it exists, but I'm just trying to change the definitions of the original three words.
What would be the utility? What would be the utility of changing this definition? What's the purpose?
Well, because now it's just self-reporting. It's not
that didn't
coherent.
Answer my question.
It's whatever you say it is. You can lie.
But what's the utility of changing it to only the behavior that you do counts as attraction? Like, what is the point of that? How does that help?
Because it can be definable. It's not just feelings.
But it is definable
action.
Currently.
What?
I think about boobies all the time. So that's definable because my thoughts about boobies are the thing that define that I'm attracted to women.
Should I tell everybody that's in a relationship? Should I tell everybody that's in a relationship that until they get married, they can't actually say they love each other? Because it's just self-reporting. So therefore,
unless you prove it.
I don't get it.
You have to prove that you love the person.
Have to do with what I said?
You're saying you have to prove that you're attracted to someone, and Jovan is suggesting that you have to prove that you really love someone. If you don't make that commitment, if you're not willing to sign the paper, then how do I really know that you love your partner?
I'm not talking about love. I'm just talking about the three words. I just want to redefine the three words: homosexual, heterosexual.
We are trying to understand what you're saying. So we're asking in a similar type situation where we're trying to make sure we can confirm empirically that someone loves someone else in the same way that we need empirical evidence that someone is attracted to someone else. So why, like, how is it different?
Though, right? There's definitely levels of love.
Yeah. So do you agree then that we cannot trust that someone loves someone unless they get married?
No.
Okay. And why would we need proof? Then why would we need proof that someone is attracted to someone else?
Why do we need to end self-reporting?
Well, you could be attracted to anything. You could claim to be attracted to anything. I'm just trying to redefine those three words.
Jesse, why do we need to end self-reporting? What's wrong with self-reporting?
Why is it insufficient?
Because it's completely insufficient. Because those are like scientific words, and it's just whatever people could say, whatever they want. They can lie.
I would argue that like being gay or straight are not scientific words; they're more sociological words.
Well, you see, he specified homosexual.
Same thing.
Yeah,
I'd say the same thing. It's about your attraction to another human. It's about a relationship standard. I would say that's sociological, not scientific. Well, not scientific.
Sociology
not like
is science,
or
you
anything.
bitch. No,
that's. Wait, I was about to play copyrighted music. I stopped it.
But no, okay. So the question is why do we need this additional burden of proof? That's what you're saying is that we have a higher burden of proof for saying that you're homosexual versus saying that you love someone. So why should there be a higher burden of proof?
Well, the higher burden of proof is it's to prevent all of this confusion, because especially in your youthful years. When you're young, you could be attracted to all different kinds of things. You know what I mean? And you just don't know. You're going through it. You're bi-curious. That's the thing, right? People are bi-curious. And I don't think that you should be considered bi.
Wait. So, but when you're in your bi-curious phase and you have sex with men and women, that means you're bisexual.
Yeah,
and even if later you decide that you're not actually hold on, I'm not in the middle. I'm fucking in the middle of talking. So if someone is going through a bi-curious phase and they try out having sex with men and women, but later they decide that they identify as straight, well, too bad. You had sex with someone of the same sex as you. Therefore, you are bisexual based on your behavior. Point blank, period. It has nothing to do with how you identify.
Behavior too.
Okay,
so
interesting.
So if you abandon one, you're no longer bi, correct?
No, I mean, no. But that's because I don't define this behaviorally.
People, I just want to say this. I think most people who've like had bi experiences probably are still bisexual, but don't act on it out of shame.
Right, but it's just all.
Or because most people are monogamous.
It's just it's too ocean wavy. I mean, the acts.
I think you're the only person who's confused by this. I think you're the only person experiencing conflicted feelings. Like, I don't know if you need to unpack that with a therapist. I don't know if you think about penis a lot and you want to pretend like so long as you don't suck the penis, then that means that you're not actually gay or something. Like, you're the only person who seems to have a problem with this system. Correct? Oh, okay.
Well, I don't think I'm the only person. Maybe the only person that calls into the show.
So you think about penis a lot?
Not frequently, no. Yourself?
Okay, because what you just said was correct. So I just want to make sure that I understand what you're saying. So, yeah, I think you're the only person who's experiencing conflict and confusion about those feelings, Jesse.
No, everyone does. Every human does.
Don't think so.
Hey, Jesse.
No?
Jesse.
Yes.
You remember the last time we talked when you said that if like the human species was dying, you'd force women to be raped so that we could have more babies?
Oh, yeah, I knew you were going to bring this up. Yep.
Yeah, just thought that was pertinent information. I just thought that was pertinent information for the conversation we're having right now.
Okay. What was it? You could repeat it.
When you said that if the human race was dying, you would like rape women so that we'd have more babies.
No. I never said rape women. I never said that.
You said you would force them to have sex so that we'd have more babies.
No, I didn't. No, I said I'd force them to have children. I said I'd force them to have children.
How do you force someone to have children if you don't make them get pregnant?
You don't have to have sex to get to have a kid anymore.
So you'd forcibly inseminate them.
Yeah, if humanity is going to go extinct.
Okay, so you would rape them.
That's still rape.
I don't know why we're going back to this. Is this
that's
to
still rape.
Discredit me?
That's rape. That's rape.
Yeah,
buddy.
it
Just
does discredit your
rape,
position. 100%. It discredits your position on anything else.
Okay. Well, I guess you guys don't want to hear anything else I have to say then, right?
Can you explain why I should take you seriously? Because I didn't know about this conversation until Jovan brought it up. Can you explain why I would take you seriously knowing that you are okay with raping women?
I didn't know. See, now you're putting words in my mouth. Jovan mentioned the last time I called when he actually hung up on me. That was very rude, Jovan.
Oh no, that's so sad, Jesse.
I think it's
that's
more
so
rude
sad.
to say that you would forcibly impregnate women if the species was dying, but you know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the crazy one here.
You would go extinct before you would try to save humanity, correct?
I would go extinct before raping a bunch of women. Yes.
No.
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
Right. So
I would let the species die out before raping a bunch of people. Yeah.
No one's raping anybody.
Well, you would if the species was dying.
No. They would have babies.
So you
wouldn't forcibly inseminate. We wouldn't go on a mass rampage.
You wouldn't forcibly inseminate people? You wouldn't forcibly inseminate people?
I don't know.
You wouldn't forcibly inseminate
them. Isn't there like test tube babies? I thought you brought that up before.
That's still insemination. Inseminate means to put semen inside. So even if you do it with a turkey baster, the thing that we're saying is that you would be willing to inseminate women without their permission, i.e. forcibly inseminate them.
What if their eggs are not in their womb anymore?
So do you know at all what the process is? Do you know at all what the process is for extracting eggs for IVF?
Well, in the future, when humanity is going extinct, we won't have
Please
to
just
do
answer
it
the question.
Traditional way that you're referencing.
Do you know how we extract eggs to do IVF?
Well, don't they have to go into the woman's body?
So that's part of it. Yeah. You have to jack her full of a bunch of hormones and then go into her body and extract the eggs. So what you're saying is we should forcibly make women undergo a surgery to extract their eggs. And it's like weeks of ongoing treatment where they pump her full of hormones. So what you think is we should strap women down, pump them full of hormones, take out their eggs without their permission, and then make babies?
Luxander, how would you attack the issue if every woman on Earth refused to have children?
I am asking you a question, actually. That's what's happening right now.
Well, yeah, this what you just brought up. I didn't get that deep into it. I assume there's a better way than what you just brought up.
That is literally the only way to get eggs out of someone's body. That is the way. Because the thing is that Jesse, I'm in the middle of explaining it. Jesse. Because eggs start out as like a tiny little follicle, and you have to stimulate them through hormones, and then ovulation occurs. So usually it's only one egg per month or whatever. So what we have to do is we have to stimulate women's bodies with a lot of hormones, and then several of their eggs get big enough to then extract them and then fertilize them. That is the way that it happens. There is no workaround for that mechanism. That is what happens. Either that or like, I guess maybe you could just extract the ovary itself and then do all of the hormone stimulation and stuff outside the body, but that's still forcing someone to undergo a surgery.
Okay, well, I guess you've convinced me. I agree with you too. I'd rather just let the humanity end.
Wow, that is a humane response. Shocking, actually.
Yeah, you've convinced me.
Okay.
Now, one more quick question. Trans billionaires, do you think that that's a possibility?
Probably, I guess. Like, I don't know what the fuck that has to do with anything. Does that relate to any of your other points so far?
Well, how does what you just brought up relate to the point I brought up originally?
Well, you've been talking about sex and sexual orientation, and it's relevant to your credibility.
This said trans billionaires.
Trans billionaires.
That exists.
Listen, what if J.K. Rowling came out as trans? What if, though? What if? Let's enter the Marvel universe. What if?
Would you instantly hate that trans if it was a trans billionaire?
Would you instantly hate that trans Lux? I'd hate the billionaire part of them. I'd hate them because they're a billionaire. I wouldn't hate them because they're trans.
I think being a billionaire is fundamentally unethical, yeah.
There are trans people I don't like. It's not because they're trans. It's because they're shitty people.
That was the point I was trying to make. So there are trans people you don't like. Okay. That was what I was...
There's people from every walks of life I don't like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was a pleasure and honor talking with you two today.
Okay.
Yeah, congrats, man. Bye. That one was at least funny. At least it was funny.
I have my soundboard hooked up.
Yeah, it's effective.
He said, would you... So if a trans became a billionaire...
All right. That was fun. Okay. Jesus Christ.
What is today, brother?
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. We're only taking these next. We're only doing 1 more hour, give or take.
Yeah, just about. We don't have like endless screening time with Luthien today. Usually I only keep the screener for like an hour because they get paid $20 and like a flat amount that they get paid. So
heard.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk to Aiden, right wing Aiden from Texas. Aiden, you're on with Jovan and Lux. Real quick, Aiden, how old are you?
I am 20.
Great, Aiden. And do you think there's justification for the war in Iran?
Oh, absolutely. Also, before we begin, I'd like to say your screening lady was really nice. Could you say thank you for me?
Yeah, I'll let her know.
Yeah.
Okay, appreciate it.
Aiden,
now, I just want to...
What's the justification? What's the justification for the war in Iran?
particularly when it comes to their international policy conflicting with our international policy. Now, I do want to be clear, like, what your stance is, because I don't want to argue against a straw man here.
My stance is we should not be at war with Iran.
Now, why would you say that?
Because I think there has been almost nothing positive out of most wars that have happened in the last 100 years.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that, but the thing is, particularly with Iran, is it contributes to a larger goal. Therein being economic conflict with China and a few other things. Now, the thing is, you also mentioned the what's it called? The annual information assessment from 2025, wherein you stated that Iran was not a threat. Is that correct?
The U.S. threat assessment, yes.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying you're lying. I want to be clear. Now, I would agree that when it comes to nuclear, they were very pessimistic about it. However, there are multiple cases in which it states that Iran is a threat, particularly when it comes to its funding of international foreign terrorist organizations, primarily Hezbollah.
Cool. That's not why we attacked them.
I particularly know the Houthis.
Wait. Hold on, Aiden. Aiden. Those are two different things. Our stated reason for attack was that they posed a nuclear threat. So did we lie about the stated reason of attack then?
Well, the thing is, I'm not going to say that we're lying about it, because in that assessment, they also did particularly state that they were making weapons-grade uranium, which you failed to point out.
Well, hold on. No. All enriched uranium past 20% is weapons-grade uranium. So by that logic, a bunch of countries have weapons-grade uranium. That's not what's being talked about here. It's do they pose a nuclear threat?
Well, if that's the case, then yes. Because then that means they have the capability to create nuclear weapons.
So does a lot of countries. And no, they actually don't until that uranium hits 90%. They do not have the capabilities to build a nuclear weapon. Per Tulsi Gabbard, in the 2025 threat assessment, Iran is not currently building a nuclear weapon, and its leader has not authorized a weapons program. This is a threat assessment we did last year. And this was before we bombed their Iranian enrichment facility. This was before that.
Yes, that is correct.
So,
but that doesn't necessarily
what evidence do you have?
Terrorist organization.
It doesn't matter, because that was not our stated goal for attacking Iran. It was not to stop terrorist organizations. It was the stated goal.
It was in the plan.
No.
Now, the nuclear was definitely included in part of the planning, but it also mentioned trying to separate them from the terrorists, from the international proxies. I wouldn't say we failed. I'd say we failed at that point.
Hold on, Aiden. The only reason we want to interrupt and target the Hezbollah is because Israel wants to target the Hezbollah. Like, that's it. If this was about,
I'm not just talking about
terrorist organizations,
I'm talking about Hamas and the Houthis.
First of all, if the reason we're doing this is because we want to disrupt terror organizations, maybe we should look at Donald Trump and the deal he worked out with the Taliban in his first term. Didn't really seem to have a problem with working with terrorist organizations then. Now, all of a sudden, we have a problem with terrorist organization funding. We didn't have a problem when Netanyahu propped up Hamas, right, back in 2006. But now, all of a sudden, we have a problem, right? This is all just smoke and mirrors, because the real stated reason is that Israel convinced Trump to attack, and so we attacked. And we have now increased the profit of U.S. oil companies $63 billion in the last month. That's the reason. It's for profit, and it's for Israel. Are you okay, Aiden, paying $3 billion a day on this war? Are you all right with that?
$3 billion a day? I didn't know I was paying for that out of my pocket. thing is,
It's
yeah,
your tax
because like
dollars.
I said, it does definitely contribute to terrorist organizations, and that is the major issue when it comes to Iran.
So did fucking Hobby Lobby, and we still not Hobby Lobby. So did fucking what was it? What's the craft store? Or it was Hobby Lobby. Yeah,
Hobby
so
Lobby.
did Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby funded fucking ISIS. Hobby Lobby funded ISIS, and we're still fucking cool with them opening up every Monday through Saturday. That's not what this is about. It's a nonsense talking point. It means nothing. This isn't going to significantly decrease the terror threat in the. How many times do we have to go into a country claiming we're ending terror and finding all these WMDs and then smoke and mirrors? Oh, look, none of that actually happened. About WMDs? Yeah, that's what nuclear weapons would be. They would be WMDs.
I'm talking about specifically when it comes to the terrorist organizations. I know what you mean by that. I got a bit confused. I thought we were talking strictly the terrorist organizations. No, I'm talking about them specifically because they do cause humongous issues when it comes to global economy and global trade. These groups are funded directly by Iran. Now, once again, I'm going to reiterate,
the United States does not get to dictate. The United States does not get to dictate how other countries work economically. They just don't. We don't get to swing our big U.S. dick around and say, hey, it's okay when we do terrorist stuff across the globe, but when you do it, we're going to bomb your school children. That's just not like, in what universe is that acceptable?
Well, I'm very confused right now. Are you justifying terrorism from Iran?
If you how do you get me justifying terrorism from Iran out of what I said?
You're acting as if just because we do it, that makes it not okay for us to call out Iran doing it. The fact of the matter is Iran does do it.
No, what I'm saying is that we can't say that the United States gets to be the dictator of what is or is not terrorism across the globe when we commit terrorism across the globe. We can look, again, let's just look at the last time we tried to do this. We ended up killing, what was it, 2 to 3 million people off of the war in Iraq because we were looking for terrorists and looking for WMDs, and then there was no significant change in the structures of these countries from our involvement. Everybody kind of ended up worse than when we came in. So now we're going into a country, we're having our president threatening genocide in a Truth Social post. We're bombing civilian infrastructure. We're bombing oil refineries, which are launching so much dangerous chemicals into the air that I will be shocked if the Iranian civilians don't go 30 plus years without these side effects still kicking in on them. It's literally raining acid because we're just indiscriminately targeting.
Yeah.
Literally, because we're indiscriminately targeting civilian infrastructure. And you're going, well, yeah, but the U.S. has a duty to do this almost because we get to decide how terrorism is stopped. Meanwhile, I don't hear you calling up when the U.S. does these war crimes and going, hey, guys, this might be terror. So does that mean if another country looks at us and sees the terrorism shit that we do, that they can?
Absolutely not.
Yes. By saying the U.S. has a by saying the United States should be able to do this, you're absolutely justifying it. How's that anything more than a justification? When you say the United States should be able to do this, that's absolutely a justification. Let me ask you a broader question. Let me ask you a broad question. If the let's say the UK, why not? Or let's say China.
Yes.
Let's say China looks at all of the terrorism the United States has committed across the globe, and China decides we're going to end the US regime. You would be okay with this because you're okay with this country going in and attacking another country if that country is either funding terror groups or committing terrorism across the globe.
No.
Exactly.
Look,
so
the thing is, when it comes to Iranian terrorism specifically, is it's targeting U.S. citizens. And it says
so when the
in the
United
2025 annual threat assessment. The one you keep saying stated that there was no threat from Iran.
No, wait. No, hold on. Be very specific about what I've said. I've said there's no nuclear threat, which is what was claimed to get us into this mess. Secondly, what you're saying now is because Iran is a terrorist threat, the U.S. has carte blanche to go after them. So I'm saying if another country deems the U.S. a terrorist threat, does that country have carte blanche to go after the U.S.? And you said no, because you are holding the U.S. to some altruistic standard that you don't hold any other country. The U.S. can make the determinations. The U.S. can do all of this because the U.S. has never gone in and done terrorist acts. We didn't go and kill tons of people in Korea by bombing, dropping 600 fucking tons of napalm on them. We definitely didn't open up a secret prison in called Abu Ghraib, where 90% of the people held there were innocent, and we tortured and raped and brutally beat them to death. No, the United States, we didn't start the Contras in Latin America. We didn't facilitate that. We've never gone in and done regime change and all that. No, we are the altruistic benefactors who just go in and help these lowly countries. No, you don't hold the same standard.
No, I'm not saying that we're going in to help lowly countries. I'm saying it's in the interest of the United States to get rid of Iran. Now, I don't.
So then, if it's in the interest of China to get rid of the U.S., should they be able to?
Yes.
If it's in the interest,
that is in their interest, and that's what they're doing. That's what Iran is doing. And
first of all, China has never attacked us, and China has never attacked us. China has never posed an actual threat to us physically.
Are you saying? Hold on. I want to be clear. Hold on, Aiden. Sorry. Let me. I want to get in here. Sorry, I want to get in here on this conversation. Okay, it's getting a little heated. I want to bring it back down a level. So are you saying that China is justified in destroying civilian infrastructure in the United States if it's in China's interest? That is justified for them to do that?
From their perspective, yes. And here's the thing. They have attacked the United States. Now, not physically, but that's not necessarily
hold on, David.
Because it's called a non-kinetic
attack. David. I want to be so clear here.
Aiden.
I'm talking... Aiden, sorry, Aiden. Aiden, my apologies. I want to be so clear here, Aiden. I'm not talking about from their perspective. I'm talking to you, so I'm asking you your stance. Your stance is America is justified in its war in Iran because Iran poses a threat to America, and it's in America's interests to take them out. So is it justified if China attacked the U.S. because the U.S. poses a threat to China, and it is in China's best interest to take out the U.S.? Is that justified in your worldview?
That
would be justified, yes. Not necessarily.
So I want to be clear here. We are talking about. Hold on. I want to ask a clarifying question, because this is something that I think Jovan didn't hit on the way that I would like to hit on it. That you believe that there is any situation in which it is morally justified to target civilian infrastructure if another government poses a threat. So do I need to worry about the bridge down the street getting bombed, and that's justified to you morally, that it's acceptable? This is how we should do business as usual as far as global conflict, that every civilian on this planet should be worried about their house being bombed or about the bridge being bombed down the street. That's how you think business as usual should be done on this earth?
That's how it's been done for ages.
I'm asking your opinion. I'm asking your opinion.
I don't want that. I don't like it when innocent people, are put in the crossfire.
Okay.
The fact of the matter is,
so then you condemn the United States attacks on civilians in Iran.
Yes.
Okay. So it seems like on some level, you think what the United States is doing in Iran is unjustified, perhaps.
No, I think that we're making some bad
You just
choices.
went back on what you just said. You just immediately went back on what you just said. You think it is unjustified It's one or the other. Either we're justified in targeting civilians or we're not. Either that's the world you want to live in or it isn't, and we don't get to be exceptions to the rules. Either we all have an agreement that we don't target civilians or it's a free-for-all and every single person on this planet lives in terror now.
Look, civilian targeting is wrong. That does not make the war unjustified. I've told you the reasons why I believe the war is justified, and you keep changing it back to nuclear weapons.
You believe any war. You believe
nuclear weapons.
Aiden, you believe every war is justified. You believe every single war that's ever happened is justified.
Because a country can say, well, it's in our interest.
Yes, you do.
When it comes to interest, I mean, in that case, yes. Because the thing is...
Okay. Then you think every single war that has ever happened is... Might makes right. It's might makes right. That's all you're doing. You're saying might makes right. If you have the power to attack someone, you're always justified in doing it because you attacking them is within your best interest.
You didn't let me finish. What I was saying is that if a dude has a bigger stick, there's not going to be an ability to fight back.
That has nothing to do with whether it's justified or not.
But also, like, that does seem to be the situation. We are using our big stick and we're smashing Iran, and they have no ability to fight back. Because the thing is, if they did have nuclear weapons, this would be the prime justification for them to target our infrastructure and our civilians with their nuclear weapons. Like, we have given them justification by attacking them. So if we were actually worried, like we said at the very opening of the stream, we don't attack North Korea, even though they have nukes, because they would bomb the shit out of us. Like, they would retaliate. But we are attacking Iran because they can't.
I appreciate the conversation, but I have to get going. Thank you again. Sorry if I got a little heated. Have a good day.
Bye.
Might makes right, everybody.
Cool. Well, we have one call left in the queue, and I'm not particularly hopeful that it's going to be a very long conversation. Are you looking at it?
Yeah. Oh boy.
I'm gonna be ready just in case there's an immediate slur drop. You never know when that happens. All right. Well, this caller gave us the name MAGA. What did you want to say something before we start? No. Okay. So the name that they gave was MAGA. They refused to give pronouns. They said they're from the USA and that they're a Republican. So we're speaking to the hive mind of all of MAGA. You're live on Jimmy Snow in the Line with Jovan and Luxander. Hello. Are you there?
Yep, I'm here. I was just listening in to those other two callers.
Yeah, before we continue, can you do me a favor and just move the microphone like 3 inches further away from your face?
Yeah, how's that?
Oh, okay, that is a little bit better. Thank you. All right, what did you want to talk about today?
Well, listening to them, it's just interesting to hear your perspective that, you know, you guys, you two, and the libs like all their entitlements, but those entitlements are going to dry up.
I'm not a lib.
And
neither of us are liberal, to be clear.
You're
literally not a liberal.
You vote for Trump or Kamala?
That doesn't make me a liberal.
Who?
You seem very lib. Your ideology is very liberal.
I'm sorry. You're still the audio.
I'm so confused.
The audio is so rough. Can you move the microphone away from your face? Because you're like every time you get slightly louder, it's like spiking the audio in a way that's quite painful to my ears.
Okay, how's that?
Maybe.
Also,
yeah,
I don't know who you're.
Yeah,
I don't know who he was talking about. I know that there were 2 people running last election, and I've never heard of the person you named. Who was that?
The former vice president, Kamala.
Who?
You don't know the borders are? Kamala?
Who? I've never heard of a Kamala before.
Harris.
Who is that? I don't know this person.
Borders are. No. Okay.
Who is Kamala Harris?
She was a former vice president. She'll probably run again.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now. I'll pull up a list of our vice presidents. There's not a single person on that list named Kamala.
Probably Newsom with like 3 buttons unbuttoned on his shirt. And AOC as his VP.
Why are you thinking about Newsom's shirt unbuttoned? You got something you want to tell us?
He's pretty smooth. He likes his wine. He likes to lock everyone out during COVID and drink his wine in Napa Valley.
Are you sundowning right now?
What? What's that?
You don't know what sundowning is? Yikes.
No.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Do you mean former Vice President Do you mean former Vice President Kamala Harris?
There's no way he means Kamala Harris, because he would have said Kamala Harris if he meant Kamala Harris.
I'm just trying to help a brother out.
Okay, so that one. In any event, have you two ever seen the Mouse Utopia study in the deep dive into that world? Because we're living Mouse Utopia right now. Where Mouse Utopia,
like mouse, like the tiny rodent mouse.
I've seen Zootopia 1 and 2. I don't know what this is.
I've seen Stuart Little.
You never saw Mouse Utopia? No,
Homie, can
Mouse
you say
Utopia,
a coherent
the experiments
sentence?
they did in the 70s. Mouse Utopia, the experiments that were done in the 70s.
I don't care about experiments done on mice. I'll be so honest with you.
Well, it has a lot of relevance to what's going on right now.
Because people aren't mice, and we engage in social structures vastly different than the way mice do. So I don't really care what mice
we don't
did.
Anymore.
Yeah, we do.
Not with the invention of all these phones and flipping through, scrolling.
Hate to break it to you. We don't act the same way mice do.
You got divorces happening left and right. You've got the breakdown of the family structure. Libs love the breakdown of the nuclear family.
Wow. We're not libs.
It starts with, basically being,
it feels like you want to go. Crazy. Why don't you go argue with libs? It feels like you want to argue with a liberal. I'm not a liberal.
Well, then what are you? Who'd you vote for?
I'm a communist.
That's liberal. That's the modern day American liberal.
It's not. You don't know what liberal means.
I want to be clear.
You can define liberal if it hit you in the face.
I want to be clear.
The commie libs is what represents America right now. Where you guys think
that's
perfect.
That's like saying
the Democrats were communists.
You guys think everything is free.
The dark light,
is a right. Guess what?
Lux, the fat skinny people are coming at you.
That's
fat skinny, the black white people. You can't be a communist and be a liberal. They're opposing ideologies.
Oh no, that's exactly what you two are. That's what you are, because you think that everything is free.
Hey,
guess what?
Listen,
no, I don't think everything is free.
I would like to have a functional conversation, and so I don't think that's
going to happen, Lux.
The only way I'm not expecting it, but I want to explain my position. I would like to have a functional, coherent conversation, and the only way that can happen is if you address me and Jovan and our actual beliefs rather than telling us what we believe. We are telling you we don't like liberals. We aren't liberals. I would say I fucking hate liberals to some extent. I don't like Democrats. I don't like them. We don't have the same beliefs. We don't want the same things for the world. So if you want to know what we actually believe and you need to ask clarifying questions, that's fine. But we're not going to get anywhere if you keep telling us what we believe.
Did you ever see that black guy that was interviewing the other black guy, and he said,
"Oh my God,
why are you gay?
Bro, shut up. Shut up.
You guys
this is so stupid.
Live. Well, you tell me
why are you gay?
Tell me what you believe.
That's a great question.
God damn, dude. I have heard less nonsense coming out of a kindergarten classroom than what I hear from you right now. This is truly embarrassing. Can you put together a coherent thought? Like, is that possible for you?
You guys want to tell me your positions. You're not.
Is it possible?
You're not liberal. You're communist.
Is it possible?
Tell me what you believe.
I'm just wondering if it's possible to put together a coherent thought. I'm praying, but I don't know how likely it is from you.
Well, I don't know you two from anyone else. You tell me how are you not liberal?
You tell me what's the communist position?
Well, there's probably different types, but what do you believe in? You probably think that everybody should get free health care, everybody should get free education, but I'm just curious, who pays for all of this?
Well, everybody already does get free education. So are you saying we live in a communist country?
No, it's not
yeah,
free.
We need to get rid
it
of
is not free.
schools.
You pay the
But
house
it is.
taxes.
We need to get rid of schools.
You pay taxes. No, the tax.
We gotta get rid of schools,
You own
everybody.
a house. You probably don't own a house. You
Okay,
pay
but
We gotta
taxes
get rid
on
of
your house.
schools,
You pay,
guys.
if you live in an apartment, you pay taxes.
In any situation,
it's baked into your rent.
in any situation
into
where
your
there's
rent.
an
Have you ever
excuse me,
seen
in
the
any
school
hold on,
budget?
in any
Have you ever
situation.
seen the school budget?
Oh my, hey,
no,
hey,
you said
hey.
education.
No,
I
okay.
muted him for a
Yeah,
second.
no, I saw.
God damn. Imagine saying, hey, I want to know your position, and then not shutting the fuck up.
Truly.
God
like,
damn,
I would love
bro.
to answer the question. Would love to answer the question, but it's kind of hard when you won't stop talking.
Now, Mr. Dementia patient, please let Lux state its position. Thanks.
So in any situation where you have an economy, someone like the money for something has to come from somewhere, right? Like we currently have a for-profit healthcare system. And so like the money has to come from somewhere, right? So either it comes from your taxes or it comes from the individual payer. And so for schools, yeah, we pay via our taxes. And that includes like rich people have to pay into that tax system. But we make sure that everyone has access and you don't have to pay up front to be able to go to the school. Like you don't need $3,000 at the beginning of the school year to be able to attend school. So that's what we mean by things being free. If you're asking if I want there to be zero money and zero market, that is a different kind of question. Where do you need help clarifying it?
To realize that when you get taxed, that's and the dollar gets devalued.
I literally just said that you pay for things by taxes. I literally just said that we pay taxes and that's how we fund things. Were you listening? Or were you just thinking about your response that you were going to make?
Goddamn, didn't listen to a word
but that's your position. Everything, everybody gets everything, right? So who's paying for it?
Nope.
Everybody pays
for it. People that are
working
hard.
No. This is what's funny. Nobody would pay for it in a communist system because there's no money. There's no money, so no one would be paying for anything.
There's no money, and guess what? That's where we're headed. We're headed towards a communist system.
Good.
That's a good thing.
Wait. I'm a communist. I can't fucking wait for us to get there.
Yeah, can you explain what is scary or bad about that?
All of your
can't wait. God damn.
Stuff that you two get. There's no gay, trans. There's no time for gay, trans, or whatever you guys are in communist society because there's not enough to go around. There's only so much food at the dinner table. In communism,
but wait.
Hey,
I'm sorry. I want to ask a clarifying question.
Wait. No. Hey, MAGA.
Everybody thinks
Hey, MAGA. Stop.
Nobody dies more than under communism.
MAGA.
Most people.
Goddamn, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. I muted you again because you won't shut up. Hey, MAGA, why don't you tell me how many pounds of food waste does the United States throw away every year?
Am I still muted?
Nope. Answer that question. That's the only thing I want to hear from you. How many pounds of food waste do we throw out every year?
Because we're under capitalism. If it's communism, say goodbye to that.
Holy shit. I'm muting you again. I said I didn't want to hear anything else except the answer to that question. So I'll ask you again, and all I want to hear is an answer to this question. How many pounds of food waste does the United States throw in the garbage every year? Can you answer that question, or do you have the ability to answer a question directly?
I gotta run. Listen, under capitalism, there's...
Bye.
They're all running away today. Oh my God.
Get the fuck out of here.
Running away.
For anyone who wants to know the answer, it's 133 billion pounds. Fuck you, we don't have enough.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Fuck out of here. Damn. Should we read some of our super chats? We have a bunch of them.
Yeah, we got super chats, and we will read them. Do we stick to the $5 or more thing on this channel, right?
We just read whichever ones we like. Jimmy doesn't. Yeah, Jimmy doesn't.
Whichever ones chooses the ones feel like it.
Yeah. I like this one. Jovan and Lux are superior hosts from Ryan Wright. Thank you, Ryan Wright.
True.
Why can't we call to talk about something fun like video games? Let me actually say, and hopefully Lux will join me on the first one. I am putting together a show that is a debate show about. Right now, the name I have going with is called Gauntlet. Let me explain this to you guys and see what chat thinks about this show and what Lux thinks about the show idea. So it's going to be a 6-person debate, 1v1v1v1v1v1. Okay. It's gonna be more fun topics like favorite superhero, or not favorite, best superhero, best John Hughes movie, best Oscar winner, things like that, right? Best anime protagonist, things like that. Every 5 minutes, the audience will vote out the person they think is doing the worst argument-wise until one person is crowned champion. Now, each person is going to have 3 lifelines, okay? So one lifeline will be a extra life. One is going to be a sudden death, so that person can choose another person that they think actually did worse and go head-to-head for 2 minutes, and then the audience will revote. And then the last one is going to be mute, so they'll be able to mute everybody else and talk uninterrupted for 30 seconds at one point in the show.
I love that.
So I'm putting this together. I think I'm going to try to shoot for next week to do the first episode. Right now, like I said, it's called The Gauntlet, but I'm not like a fan of that name. I'm not married to it. I don't know what I want to call it. But like that's the name that I've got right now. So if you've got ideas, I'll have for episodes you guys want to see, I will have Pillow make a thing in my Discord, and then you guys can drop like things there. So it'll be a fun little thing. So that's how I'm going to be doing fun debates. So
that sounds awesome.
Lock in, folks.
I'm into it. I'm like best superhero. I feel like I can throw down about that, especially because I've been watching Invincible and reading the comics.
And you like when I say best, like it's gonna be question themed. So like when we start, it'll be the first round. Will be like why, like basic. Why is your superhero the best? And then which of these superhero has the most like crowd appeal? Which of these superhero blah blah blah? And you're gonna have to debate. It might even be best. We might have a strongest episode. Like lock in. It's coming. Okay.
Someone said the Javantlet.
No, it has to have a name that can survive if I like can't host and like somebody else hosts for me or something.
Fair enough. Yeah. I'm not good at coming up with names, so I'm not going to help.
Yeah, no. I'm going to need Jimmy and his naming ability.
He's really good at it.
What other super chats do we got?
Let's see. Truly, the haters obsessed with prostates. The Skeens gland, aka female prostate, is homologous to the male prostate, and if you actually knew about it, you might make a cis gal come someday. Accurate.
Ooh, shit. Draft happens. I'm fully publicly coming out. I'm going to the camps before I go to the army. Well, they said in the report that one of the ways that you will not get drafted is if you are currently or planning on undergoing gender transition, you get to avoid the draft. So we about to see a spike.
That's true. I saw in I can't remember which country it was. It might be Vietnam, but it might be another one where they or Thailand or something. But like people assigned male are drafted into the military, and it's kind of like a thing for the trans women there where they go and they get officially like declined for military service because they're trans. So you just like all these really hot women like flaunting their military rejection. I thought it was pretty cool. Little affirmation moment.
So true.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just reading through to see if there's any other big super chats we want to hit. Olivia said only because Jimmy is not hosting. That's funny.
Tell him that over and over again.
Donald Trump did tell me if I voted for Kamala, we would be at war with Iran. It's the only thing he didn't lie about.
Accurate.
Cheers for no bi erasure.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like Jesse is okay with redefining words except rape.
True.
Trans Billionaire is my new band name. We're doing 2 shows in Cleveland.
It's so weird. It sometimes like doesn't show me all of them on the fan funding page.
Oh,
yeah,
that's what I clicked on. That's what I'm seeing.
It's I don't know. It's something weird about my account or something.
Well, this has been a fun. Is our band name Jux or what's our?
I thought we'd landed on like Jalux.
Jalux. Oh yeah, like deluxe. Jalux.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's golden. That's golden. I don't know. Do we have anything else to talk about?
I don't think so. I have a whole day off tomorrow, so that's exciting. I'm excited.
I wonder if I can get 6 people together tomorrow.
Ooh.
Probably not.
It's short notice. It is pretty short notice.
Yeah, it's real short notice. Okay, well, WS for kicking ass.
Yeah.
I'm ending my stream now. Bye, stream.
Cool. All right. We're going to leave now, too. Goodbye.